Washington mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. And AM 630. WMAL.
8:37 on WMAL, where Washington comes to talk. I'm Larry O'Connor alongside Brian Wilson. Joining us now, very excited to introduce this man to the WMAL audience. He's a writer of an Amazon ebook called I Am a Liberal, a Conservative's Guide to Dealing with Nature's Most Irritating Mistake. He is abrasive, he is sardonic, he is funny. Think of him as Greg Gutfeld with an extra 12 inches. He's Kurt Schlichter. Kurt, thanks for joining us this morning.
Larry, great to talk to you.
That was a hell of an introduction.
Well, I owe him, actually. He carried me home one night after a drinking binge. So
we'll get to that later.
We're even. Night. Yeah. Hey, Kurt, you know, I love seeing your byline over at Big Hollywood at the Breitbart News because you do kind of bridge the gap between culture, entertainment, and politics. And you're writing about this TV show on HBO called Girls. Now, just to remind the audience, this stars Lena Dunham. She just won a bunch of Golden Globes with this show. She's the one who did that ad for Obama comparing voting for president for the first time with losing your virginity, right?
Why should voting for Obama was a lot like getting it.
Yeah. You know so why should conservatives care about this?
Well, I don't know if it's a matter of caring so much because it's a skeevy show, Larry. It's the only show in the history of cable television where you pray that the heroine keeps her clothes on.
Oh, God.
You're just like, please, God, no.
I understand. Usually when you pony up to a cable show, you're saying, oh, well, this is cable. She might take her top off. That's a good thing.
Exactly.
Not
and
here.
This one, you're on the edge of the seat going, for God's sake, put on a smock. But that aside, this show's kind of captured the zeitgeist. It's about these young 20-something women wandering around this aimless, nihilistic lifestyle in New York, and a lot of people seem to think that it really captures something about the youth of today. Now, like you, I'm old. I'm very close to not being able to collect my Social Security, so normally I don't know if I'd relate. In fact, and I'm not sure that the target demo for girls is middle-aged white guy veteran right-wingers. But, however, it's important that people like us watch it because I think it says something about our culture. It says something about our time, even if it makes our skin crawl.
You make the point that we can't, as conservatives, just curl up on the couch and watch reruns of Andy Griffith.
Exactly. For one thing, he's an Obamacare shilling hack.
Well, he's also dead. So
you can't paint anybody all black. But look, I mean, our friend Larry, your friend Andrew Breitbart. We were both buddies with Andrew. Andrew said that culture was the most important thing. It's not just about winning an election, because so we take the Senate back in 2014. Does that turn America into something other than a cesspool of degeneracy? No,
right.
It's not the fight. You can't be in the fight if you don't show up. And if you sit back and you're just watching ABC Family and I'm not ever gonna see anything that pushes my limits or affects me or annoys me, you can't get to the water cooler on Monday and say, wait a minute, I saw Girls too, and hey, people, here's a different view. Here's a conservative view. How can we get in the argument if we don't show up?
You got to be in the argument. You got to be able to speak in the vernacular of the times, and people refer to it. You got to be able to know what they're talking about. Kurt, listen, I think the audience probably can tell from your. But listen, you sound like an angry surfer. You've been in L.A. so long. Immigration is in the news right now. How is the bipartisan effort in the Senate to what they're calling immigration reform? How's that going over in Southern California and amongst your friends out there on the beach?
Well, most of us are on drugs, so it's not really affecting us in any way.
Go. That's a good way to go through the Obama.
But I will speak to my housekeeper about it a little later. Wow, a whole bunch of senators have gotten together and they've got a good idea. How can that turn wrong, Larry?
Well, listen, everyone in D.C. wants bipartisanship. They want Republicans and Democrats working together. Isn't this an improvement?
The only kind of buy I like is two hot girls on the nation.
Oh, see, now there you go. Now, see, this is exactly where we get into trouble with you, Kurt Schlichter.
That was
I can't assign myself to, who am I kidding?
Bipartisanship. Larry, I don't like bipartisanship because it somehow gives people the impression that irreconcilable issues can somehow be papered over if enough overpaid beltway jerks get together and decide at some cocktail party that they're not going to fight anymore. I like fighting. I like argument. I like very, very clear lines. Immigration shouldn't be the subject of some sort of bipartisan consensus that ignores everybody who doesn't live within D.C., Maryland, or Northern Virginia.
So what's the Kurt Schlichter solution to the immigration problem?
Well, how about this? How about we secure the border, then you come to us and talk? Because I don't want to hear anything until the problem's solved. And the problem's not solved until people keep flowing north. Now, I live in Southern California, okay? I have to dodge unregistered illegal alien drivers. I drive by the Home Depot. There's 1,000 guys out there. And look, I'm a conservative. I like people who want to crawl through a desert, dodge bandits and cops, all to get a minimum wage job making me burritos. I love that. These guys are future Americans. I would like more of them here. I just want to be able to send some Americans south, like Paris Hilton and Alec Baldwin south.
There's the trade.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right,
exactly. Where's the fairness?
Now, Kurt, though, I have to sort of take you aside now and ask you sort of this question. Larry's been here for a while now, and
I don't like
and
where
he's
this is
he's been acting very respectable here since he's gotten to Washington D.C. By and large, he's been behaving himself.
Well,
but I know you.
Cross-dressing is accepted in Washington.
But I know
in a way it's not here.
I know that you and Larry go back quite a ways, and you've known Larry probably better than the rest of us do. Tell us something about Larry O'Connor that we don't know.
Well, he has a tattoo of a butterfly right over his. Can I say that?
No,
you
you cannot. No,
is
you
this Salem?
can't.
Am I going to get dumped?
I think they get it. Thanks.
That's
Kurt.
it. That's all you're going to give up?
Look, I'm an attorney-client privilege applies.
Privilege, yeah.
Drinking on Hermosa Beach Pier all Sunday afternoon privilege. That also applies.
You're in the bar of silence.
Yes,
what happens in the bar of silence?
I'm in every kind of bar you can imagine, Brian.
Kurt is the author of I Am a Liberal.
Again, you're dumping out of this.
Yes,
aren't
I
you?
am. We're done. I Am a Liberal, a conservative's guide to dealing with nature's most irritating mistake. And listen, if any of you are on Twitter, if you're not following Kurt Schlichter,
you're missing out.
You need to follow Kurt Schlichter. The spelling
you're
is
a failure at life.
Right.
No one will ever love you.
I'd spell it for you, but I'll tell you, it's in the original Nazi. Kurt Schlichter in the original Nazi. You'll figure it out. Hey, Kurt, have a good day. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. See you, Larry. See you, Brian.
He lights fires. He lights some bonfire. He's provocative.
He is.
That's all. Push his button.
8:45. I wanted more detail.